What's going on, everybody? I'm Can't Kill Dill, lover of all things morbid, macabre, and horrific. If you're a fan of killer dolls and child murder, maybe hit that like button. Groovy. I was a fan of Chucky Season 1. There's some problems with it, obviously. My main issue I had with Season 1 of Chucky was really that the show focused so much on the new characters. Not to say the new characters are bad. I liked the new characters. I like Jake, I like Devin, Lexi. But the show focused so much on them that sort of like these legacy characters that we all love so much, they didn't get their time to shine. And that was kind of an issue I took. I mean, it was awesome seeing Kyle back. It's always cool seeing Alex Vincent back as Andy. That's just cool. And obviously having Brad Dourif back as the fucking voice of our favorite killer doll. But the show just didn't focus a whole lot on the legacy characters. So my big thing going forward with season 2 was I hope they just focus a little bit more on the legacy characters. Not sure that's gonna happen with this season. The cool thing is that the cliffhanger we left off with, where Andy's driving off in the truck full of like fucking 70-something Chucky dolls or whatever the fuck it was, just a shitload of Chucky dolls. All of a sudden, he's taken like hostage by the Tiffany doll. We were left hanging. Luckily, we pick up right from there, and that's cool. That's what I wanted. What I didn't want was Andy driving off a cliff, just kind of silencing that whole story that was kind of set up with this truckload of Chucky dolls. And, what was going to happen there. I mean, granted, we know by the end of it that obviously several have escaped and also Andy's body is missing. So I kind of knew right away. I was like, okay, there's no fucking way they're killing off Andy. Obviously. They're not going to kill off Andy Barclay. Stupid. I almost thought for a second, but then I was like, no, fuck that. No. But then again, I saw that drop and also it crossed my mind, they'd have to be dumb to kill off Andy. It's also pretty dumb to say the motherfucker survived that shit. But I digress. That's irrelevant, I guess, at this point. It's child's play. It's a talking doll. It's a talking killer doll. Powered by voodoo. That being said, I did really dig it. Dude, when he blew off Tiffany's head, that was cool. That was cool. I really liked the back and forth. Brad Dourif's so good. The 3 Chucky dolls that are in the back. You have the 2 kind of like normal ones, and you have the one with no hair, and they both have their kitchen knives, their kitchen knives, and the one in the back's like, you guys got knives? Where the fuck's mine? It's like, oh, we gave him out at orientation. That shit's just funny. That's like good kind of classic Chucky, dialogue. It's great. It's funny. Brad Dourif gives one hell of a performance as always. He's always going to be the voice of Chucky in my opinion. He's so good. No one can do what he does the way he does it. So yeah, that whole story set up with, a whole truckload of Chuckies going out into the world to create some fucking chaos kind of went out the fucking window right from the beginning. So right away I'm kind of like, And then also Andy's missing. So I'm like, fuck me. Is Andy gonna just be like, where the fuck is Andy? But also I was thinking that Kyle was probably dead, but maybe not. Maybe Kyle's still out there too. Maybe we'll get a return of Andy and Kyle. We'll see, because I really want these legacy characters to be kind of a focus of this. But obviously I'm not going to use the first episode to judge off of. We pick up with Jake and Devin and, their relationship, what's going on, because basically Jake is being sent off with this foster family. He's got like a new little foster brother that like looks up to him. They got the whole Batman and Robin thing going on, which is kind of cute. Ha ha ha, whatever. That's cool. There is something I gotta say is that, in season 1, the buildup of Jake and Devin's relationship really worked for me. I don't know what it was. The tenseness of the like fucking will they won't they type thing. I don't know. I'm not really that invested in teenage romance, I guess. But I gotta say, like, now that they're like fully fledged, like, I don't know, the whole scene with Jake and Devin just seemed sort of like I just wasn't getting that chemistry like I was in season 1. And they maybe spent a little bit too much time on Jake and Devin a little bit. And I get it. They're sort of like the main, they're the main protagonists, and I understand that. But there are parts where it feels a little bit, it feels like a little bit of like a fucking after school special sort of, maybe like a Lifetime movie or something, because the music choice was honestly like kind of laughable. It's not like that's gonna kill it for me. It's just the music choice was kind of funny, and I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but it was. As for the characters themselves, I still really like them. I still really like the Jake character. I really like the Devin character. I'm sad they killed off, what's his name? Oh, I'm sorry, I forget it, but I kind of would have liked to see where that character would have gone had he not died. So anyways, Jake and Devin kind of say their goodbyes as Jake's driving away with his new little foster brother and foster parents, going into foster care like Andy did back in the day, which is cool. Devin runs after the car and is like, bitch, stop, and which is cool. And then fucking, Jake's tells them to stop, and he runs out, and they embrace and they kiss. Again, it just felt like their chemistry was off a little bit. I'm sure maybe it'll improve as we go. I mean, it's been a year. They're back together, filming this. We'll see. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. We'll see how it continues. This is just the first episode. Flash forward 6 months. It's Halloween. I loved the Halloween episode from last year. It was awesome. It was really good. It was maybe one of the best episodes, if not the best episode of that season. This episode was not that. We pick up with Caroline and Lexi. The whole thing with Caroline letting Chucky in, who's like the ghost of Halloween past or whatever. I thought that was pretty funny. Picking up with Lexi, she's just like this fucking like little teenage cokehead now. And it's funny that, this episode's called Halloween 2. And I wonder if I'm the only one that has thought about this, but has just the fact that it's called Halloween 2. The Lexi character, is she not a fucking dead ringer or like a diet version of Scout Taylor Compton's Laurie Strode from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Like after the events of the traumatic shit, she just takes a turn for the worse and is just like this grungy, like funky. Like she's wearing all this fucking plaid. Her hair's all messy. I mean, even her face kind of looks like Scout Taylor Compton from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Am I crazy? I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one making that connection. I don't think that was done on purpose, but I had to mention it. There's that whole phone call thing with Jake and Devin on Halloween. You get that Strangers reference with Tamara here. And that's totally a reference to Strangers, which was really cool. And then that whole scene kind of plays like a scene from a Scream film. And it was cool because, you know what it really reminded me of? The opening of Scream 5, Roger L. Jackson. He was doing the voice without doing Ghostface. I felt like Brad Dourif was doing the voice without doing Chucky. It was very reminiscent of that. So, the cops are fucking called, and they show up there because there's the fucking break-in, but it was really just that little son of a bitch running around with a fucking sheet over his head or whatever. Little fucking Laurie Jr. goes ahead and kicks out her fucking fuckboy for the night, and cops stay while she waits for her mom to get home or whatever. But, we flash forward to that the therapist scene. Dude, what the fuck is going on here? So this bitch is like, I know you're shit terrified of dolls. Here's a fucking doll. And then, which I already was like, come on, bitch. Like, really? That's what we're gonna do here? You fuck? But then she pulls out the fucking Tiffany doll from Bride of Chucky, or I'm sorry, the fucking, the wedding bell doll. And at first I was like, ha, and then that initial like, oh shit, kind of wore off instantly. And I was just like, oh shit. She goes on to say how rare it is, and it was like a really limited run. And they only made like a few for some sort of promotional shit or some shit like that. I don't know. It was all just kind of a roaring in my ear at that point because I was a little bit frustrated with it. She has the grand idea of telling this poor traumatized little girl, take this fucking doll home with you. I'm not a therapist. I don't know if that was good advice. But just going off of what some of the writing reveals, or what some of the choices reveal about the writing in this episode, I'm not so sure that was a move a real therapist would make. But it made me think, is she really have all good intentions? I'll talk a little bit more about that later, because a couple things made me think that maybe it wasn't poor writing choices. Maybe it was like not executed in the best way, but perhaps there was a reason for that. Also, I just felt so bad for the little girl Caroline, because that scene where Lexi beats the shit out of the Tiffany doll in her room, and she just beats the fuck out of her, and she never trusts any doll. All dolls are fucked up. And that little girl is gonna be so fucking damaged. I mean, she makes her sleep with the kitchen knife in her bed. That poor fucked up little girl. I felt so bad for her. And Lexi, again, she's just emanating this Rob Zombie Halloween 2 Laurie Strode fucking whole aura about her. Fucking just grungy ass, okay? Once Chucky's ass shows up with the fucking homemade bomb and foster brother, little Robin, little boy wonder or whatever. That was pretty intense, I guess. Lexi's punk ass fucking just getting totally shitty upstairs and just shop vacuuming up all these fucking crushed pills right up her fucking brain hole. Comes downstairs, all fucking kaleidoscope vision, sees these assholes sitting down in the living room. There's a killer doll here, bitch, with a homemade bomb. So that kind of plan goes to shit for a second. Little dude, fucking little foster brother, grabs the fucking homemade bomb and fucking books it, man. Books it, sees the fucking Tiffany doll, which, let me pause for a second. They make a fucking reference in this fucking episode to the Bride of Chucky. They literally say it's a Tiffany doll from the movie Bride of Chucky. And then they fucking say Tiffany was played by Jennifer Tilly, who is now actually Tiffany Valentine in real life. Because, obviously you go back to the Seed of Chucky, there was in the beginning of that, they were making a Chucky movie and Jennifer Tilly was one of the actors in it, which was already like meta and funny in itself. Seed of Chucky is what it is. I still watch it if I'm like watching all the films. But since the fuck when? As far as I know, there was only one Chucky movie. I can't remember what it was supposed to be called, like Chucky Goes Psycho or some shit like that. As far as I know, the production on that never fucking continued because motherfuckers were getting beheaded and shit in the props department and stuff, right? I'm sorry, I maybe it's not that big of a fucking deal, but this just hurts. This is another example of just piss poor writing, just awful decision. Maybe this isn't bothering other people as much as it's bothering me. It's bothering the shit out of me, and I hate it so bad. I hate it so bad. I don't want it to be a thing, but it's a thing, and it's not going to deter me from watching more episodes because I fucking love Chucky. Obviously, I love Chucky. But why did they make that decision? Fuck! Anyways, back to what I was saying. Little dude is running through the kitchen. He has the fucking bomb, right? He sees the Tiffany doll and he stops because, whatever reason why. Well, probably because he just got assaulted by another doll, so maybe he's a little bit wary of dolls. So, maybe a smart move. Either way, Chucky jumps up from behind him and fucking detonates the thing! They blew up the kid. They killed the kid, which, not really a bad decision. One, the episode needed something. Killing off a fucking little kid. Okay, fine. Be that way. I kind of liked it. It was ballsy. But also, didn't help that the kid was already an annoying little shitbag. I know he's a good little dude. There were some cute moments. But he was super annoying and all the Batman jokes got so old. But I was like, oh fuck, they just murked the little guy. He fucking did the whole bird's eye view and the fucking green fucking... it's like the fucking Joker laughing gas blew up in the fucking kitchen. The whole cul-de-sac's just gonna be fucking rolling. And then here's where, again, things get a little strange. So we kind of, we had to skip forward a little bit to kind of get the story going to where it needs to be. And I get that. But the therapist, she recommends, like, the Lord Incarnate place for all three of these kids to go to. So Jake, Devin, Lexi, all three of them. In what world is a judge going to be like, for sure? So all three of them are being blamed for the death of this child, Jake's little foster brother. And all three of them get the same exact sentence. They're being sent to Lord Incarnate, some backwoods fucking weird ass, like, God school, Catholic school, boarding school with, religious tendencies. It also happens to be like the foster home where Charles Lee Ray lived when he was a kid. And so almost a cool callback. I think it would have been a way doper move to have them go to like the military school or whatever from Child's Play 3 that Andy was at. How fucking cool would that be, dude? Missed opportunity maybe, but I know they're setting up their own lore, for like Charles Lee Ray's early life and stuff, and that's fine, that's cool. Here's the fucking weird thing though. This is about that therapist again. So she's the one that kind of gave the little girl the fucking Tiffany doll, which I thought was a weird choice, right? Is that not a weird choice? That feels like a weird choice. And then she sort of, is the catalyst for these kids going to Lord Incarnate. And then the episode ends with a Chucky doll, like right away. I mean, it's in a package, but it's being dropped off from like FedEx or whatever. But the package is obviously a good guy doll box being dropped off right at the end of the episode. So, okay, is this therapist like in on this shit? Or was it just really poor, convenient writing, like poor writing for the sake of convenience? And I'm not bashing on Don Mancini or anything like that. Like, I'm a huge fan of his. I'm so happy that he got to do this, even after that fucking Child's Play remake, which wasn't so bad actually. Either they're setting something up there or it's just convenient poor choices. And it is what it is. It's only the first episode. So it's pretty much, you know, those are kind of my gripes. Like I said, I know that they want to direct this towards a whole new generation, and that's cool. I like the inclusiveness. Child's Play has always been inclusive anyways. You know, Don Mancini's an openly gay man. And go back and watch Seed of Chucky, for God's sake. But really remember what year that fucking came out. I mean, the conversation between Chucky and Tiffany and Glenn/Glenda talking about, like, sometimes I feel like a boy, sometimes I feel like a girl, sometimes I feel like both or whatever. I mean, pretty progressive. That's not the problem at all. The writing choices are kind of the problem. All in all, I enjoyed it. I look forward to episode 2. I'm psyched just to get more Chucky. I mean, who wouldn't be? I'll be talking about episode 2 when that comes out next week as well. Tell me down below, what are your thoughts so far of season 2 of Chucky? How'd you feel about episode 1? Did it meet your expectations? Are you bummed that the whole setup with all the Chucky dolls in the truck just kind of went off a cliff with Andy driving? Or are you, like, pretty excited to see where that goes? I'm pretty up in the air. I'm excited regardless. Let me know what you think down below. We'll talk about it. Go ahead and stab the like button, /subscribe, and get that bell notification. Later.